Rising water rates are always a matter of concern for our islands. News Channel 8's Lee Carl has the details.
This was the chance for the new Hugo Hodge Jr., the Executive Director of the Water and Power Authority, to speak directly to the people of the Virgin Islands about the LEAC and many other areas and some light at the end of the tunnel, as we talked about. Let's tune in and hear Hugo as he explained in the beginning about the price of fuel, the LEAC, and also some other projects that have been put on hold because of the price of this fuel. And he also fielded a number of questions regarding overall projects that were underway, possibilities, put it that way. The Levelized Energy Program, of course, along the possibilities of getting a grant, such as Hawaii has gotten, apparently. So here is the press conference, very briefly, as the Hugo Hodge spoke about the problems the community is talking about everywhere.
Plus the energy crisis in its entirety, what the effect of the price of oil does to the authority and in turn the end consumer, the manner in which the LEAC is adjusted and how that affects the authority and the consumer, what efforts the authority is taking to address this crisis, and what the customer can do to minimize the effect of the increase in prices. We'll start with the price of oil. In October 2003, the average price per barrel was $27.79. Just shy of 5 years, June of this year, we've just received indication that this month's price for oil will be $121 delivered. That is an increase of almost 500% in just shy of 5 years, which would in turn be an average increase of 100% each year. But if you thoroughly examine the numbers, it's much more devastating than that. It took 3.25 years to go from the $27.79 in October of 03 to the $55.12 it was in January of 07. The remaining 400% increase has occurred in the last 18 months. At this rate, it is staggering and it's becoming unbearable for the consumer. Remember, the LEAC, which is a direct pass-through from the customer to Hovensa, the authority sees none of it. We've received comments and heard questions from the community wondering if the authority is increasing the LEAC to benefit the bottom line in some manner. I repeat, the LEAC, the authority sees none of the LEAC. It goes straight, pass through the authority to the provider, which is Hovensa. So what we have here is oil prices increasing at a tremendous rate and the consumer having to bear that. Let's talk about the LEAC again. The LEAC itself, every 6 months is evaluated by the PSC. We submit data, projected price increases for the next 6 months, as well as what has been expended over the current period, and that is used to determine what the new LEAC rate is. It's been made public that we have filed for an increase of about 40%. Let me explain that increase. The price that's projected for July is between 126 and 128 delivered, which may be understated now that we realize that the price for June is 121, which was only 109. I say only, it was 109 in May. So with a $12 increase between May and June, if the same takes place from June to July, what seems to be a staggering request for the next LEAC may be understated in itself. What we have is over the 6 month period of the LEAC, if the price that we pay outpaces the price we recover from the consumer, the authority is forced to carry that burden for the entire 6 months. This is what we call the under recovery. This amount was projected to be $24 million by the end of this period. And with the news of the current LEAC, of the current oil price being 121 in June, it will no doubt exceed the $24 million that we projected. Again, we talked about 128 in July. The current LEAC is set at $93. Just the price of fuel increased from 93 to 128.
And WAPA's Executive Office, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.